Hi, my name is Michelle Prince, and this is my informative speech. Here is my audience.
It's kind of blurry.
All right, so here's a question for you guys to think about. How valuable are your memories? For me, even as a young girl, I love to capture my memories with the camera. Everywhere I went, my little neon blue camera went with me too. It was almost like that 1980s My Buddy commercial, but instead of My Buddy, it was my camera and me. Some of you know what I'm talking about, right? So the purpose of my speech today is to inform you guys on a few easy tips to help you take better photographs. Just to make things clear, just because photography is one of my passions doesn't mean I've always taken great pictures. In fact, it's quite the contrary. But just like anything else, taking great photographs takes practice. I would like to share with you two of the tips that I have learned over the years to help capture experiences as the amazing moments that they are. These two concepts are composition and focus. A great photographer once said, "You don't take a photograph, you make it." Ansel Adams. This brings us to the composition. The items that you choose to fill your picture with are going to greatly affect the way that you feel about those pictures when you go back and revisit the memory. The professionals at Kodak recommend becoming a director of your photograph. Keep it simple, move in close, and move away from the center of your photograph. When you move in closer to your subject, this allows you to bring more focus to your subject and helps you to eliminate miscellaneous distractions that could be in the scene and behind that you aren't even aware of. When it comes to placement of your subject, a good photographer uses the rule of thirds. To give you an example of what I mean, imagine you have your camera in front of you and you're getting ready to take a picture. When you look in your viewfinder or on your LCD screen, I want you to imagine a tic-tac-toe grid right there. At every point of intersection, this will be your focal point as to where you will place your subject for your picture. I challenge each of you to practice this, and you can see how it can dramatically change the feeling of each of your photographs. So after you direct your pictures, one thing you really want to be careful of and make sure of is to check your focus. Focus is a vital element, and it's going to make or break your photograph. I'm sure that we've all had the experience in our lives when we've taken a really good photograph and we've gone back to take a look at it and it was blurry and we were totally bummed out. I know I've done this a few times. So this is why it's important to check your focus. Whether you have an autofocus or a manual lens, it's really important to become familiar with your camera's focus features. Don't be afraid to read your owner's manual. We all get one when we get our cameras. And even if you get a camera secondhand, because of the electronic age, it's very easy to go online and download a user's manual for your camera to help you answer any questions you may have. Excuse me. So most cameras today have an autofocus already built into it. But you really need to be careful about this, because with a normal point-and-shoot camera like this, the autofocus will only focus on whatever subject is in the very center of the lens. So that's what it focuses on. So when you're thinking about your composition, this can make things difficult because you try to use the rule of thirds to make more creative pictures. This is why it's very important to learn how to lock your lens and to lock your focus. You guys are going to laugh, but the best tips that I found on locking your focus are through the dummies.com website. This is what they recommend. When you look through the viewfinder of your camera, you want to position its focus point on the main subject. This means whatever it is that you want to have in focus, that's what you want in the center, right? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to push down your shutter button halfway. Not all the way, make sure you stop halfway. And this is going to allow you to focus and to sharpen the image. Once you get a crisp outline of your main subject, you continue to hold that button down, and then you can reorient your camera to the composition that you had planned on doing to take your picture. Once you have it set up the way you wanted, push the button down all the way to complete your photograph. So whether these tips seem simple or complex, remember that composition and focus are two vital keys to really help you make a photograph to make a statement. But it takes practice. I know that I can tell you from my years of experience and many failures and successes that both focus and composition have really helped me transform the dull and blurry pictures of my past into photographs that make a statement. Thank you for listening.